Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning, good evening, depending on when you are watching today's tape of Money Monday. We are so excited. This is another opportunity for us to share information to help you on your journey. If you're an entrepreneur, innovator, a ministry leader, a business owner, if you are running any type of organization, this is a very imperative conversation today that we're going to have about cash management and using some of the software that is available to you that makes life easy. How many know we want to work smarter? Not harder. All right. That needs to be our frame of thought in this new year, that we want to work smarter, not harder. And so here's an opportunity for us today as we talk about cash management and leveraging software for our small businesses. Now, stay tuned. Go ahead and like and share and tell others that Money Monday is on the Juice Radio and Talk Show as we go into our introduction. Peace and blessings.
Welcome to the Juice Radio Talk Show. 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 Reality TV, church reviews. Let's talk happy love and marriage lifestyle. Come and talk with us. Come and share with us. Come and laugh with us. Come on and pray with us.
Regina, Clovis, special guest. You should be following your lead. Bless. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen on podcasts. We live on IG and Facebook. This episode is sponsored by Truth and Triumph Ministries.
Hi, happy Monday and welcome to Money Monday, where we are sharing information to help you grow financially as you operate in faith in whatever calling, vocation you have. Whether you are an entrepreneur, an innovator, a business owner, one who is operating in management, if you're a leader, spiritual leader over your fellowship, this is some information that we want to share every week that can help enable you to get to your goals, to get to your purpose. And so today we're continuing in our series about cash management, and we've had a lot of conversation. We talked about how we want to make sure that we understand what cash management is, managing our cash flow. We talked about how to operate with new vendors, how do you facilitate a good contract, one that is solidified, one that you recognize that they're just not an extension, but they are a partner in your organization. They're a part of what your service providing from end to end. And so you need to consider them all the way through the process. And so today we're now talking about cash management and leveraging software systems. And so that is imperative. In many cases, I know some of us are small businesses. We may be a entrepreneur. It's just one single employee. It might just be yourself and maybe a few others. And we may still be doing things the old traditional way. We might still be leveraging Excel, and there's nothing wrong with that. Excel has really improved in a lot of capabilities that it provides you to. But we also want you to think about your next level, where you're going next. And that's part of us. Our role as a purpose pusher. That's part of my role, that I want to ensure that you get to your expected end and that you get there and you are able to maintain whatever the Lord puts in our hands. We want to be able to maintain it. We want to be able to sustain it. We want to be able to grow it so that we prosper into our next. And so one of those things we can do is to work smarter, not harder. And so we welcome all of you who've already joined us on today, Lady Virgo, Little Lady, also our CEO of the Juice Radio and Talk Show, Minister Evangelist Regina. We just thank God for all of you who've joined us today to listen in because this is good information. Proverbs 21:20 talks about, because, we use biblical principles in what we're doing because we want the Lord's hand to be on it. He said, beloved, I would that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So we're using that in context with our management of our money. And so in Proverbs 21, it talks about the positiveness of cash flow. And what does positive cash flow mean? It means having more coming in than what you're sending out. And so the only way to be able to acknowledge that and know what's really happening, where you're really spending your dollars, is to be able to have a tracking mechanism, right? And so we want to be able to make wise choices. Why? Because the wise store up. The wise glean and keeps and then spends out wisely. And so one of those tools that can help us in doing that is to have a cash management software. Doesn't have to be very expensive, does not, but one that can help you in several areas. One, the context of being able to track very easily. Most of us, myself included, we don't really use the checkbook where they would have a checkbook and you're writing down in your register. Remember that? The old checkbook and register? A lot of times we've gotten away from that. A lot of things that are very electronic now, made very feasible and advantageous to us. Many of our banks also afford and provide with some tracking mechanisms to make it more easier for you, so you're not actually writing things down. But when you are managing a business, an organization, it is imperative that you're not just using your mind to remember things, but that you're writing it down. And then there are some cash flow management systems that can help you really see where you're spending your money. There are some trending that's a lot of banks that are doing now that they have as a feature and function in your checking or savings or business account, where they can help you understand where you're spending your money. They can do some analysis work and give you some trends where you're spending a lot in this area. Not that it's telling you where to make your decisions, but so you have an awareness of where your money is going. And so you need to make sure that you are operating from that capacity. Amen. That you have that information available to you. Okay, they said they're not hearing any sound. Okay, but sound is coming out. I see others are hearing. And so what we want to do is think about it from a biblical principles. There are a lot of principles about spending and managing money. One of them being stewardship. We must be a good steward over what God has given us. And so if he's giving you the authority, if he's giving you information, right, that you can now take back to use and to leverage and to grow, then this is what you want to do as a good steward. It is imperative for us to seek elements of information, seek knowledge, seek wisdom. The Bible says, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God. He give it to us liberally. So God makes these things available. He's given somebody wisdom and inclination and witty ideas to craft these software packages. Somebody had to think this up. And so God gave them that wisdom, that knowledge, so that we then could benefit from it. And so why reinvent the wheel if it's already made available? And so we want to talk about that because there are many, many aspects of money management from a biblical perspective. Stewardship is one of them. So you are supposed to steward what has been put into your hand, meaning to watch over it, to manage it, to cover it, to ensure that things are moving as it should. The next one is also sowing and reaping. That is a biblical principle. As you sow, you're going to reap it. And so even as we put the money in, we want to reap a good harvest. That means we got to keep our eye on it. We got to know where it's going. And then we also have prioritizing our resources. So you know this. That's why it's so important to use these softwares, because our resources are not unlimited. We have a finite amount that is made available to us in a different time of season. Maybe you're doing your calendar on a weekly basis. Some businesses may manage their financial input on a monthly basis or bi-weekly basis. So you need to be tracking so that when you get there, you know the trend of where you're going. We talked about that a few months ago when we talked about trends in your business. You need to know, is this my hot season? Is this the season when I need to be pushing? For some businesses, it could be the Christmas season. The holiday season is when your business is at the peak. And that's when you really need to market and be out there. And so what happens with the software is it gives you that awareness of where you're spending your funding. How do you prioritize? Where do you now level set and put new money in? We talked about that before. Where do I invest as a business? And so on today, very briefly, we just want to talk about cash flow management, the importance of our due diligence in being wise with it. And so we don't want our money to seem like it's blowed on, that it just come in our hand and it go right out. We want to be effective money managers. What do you mean? Sometimes you can watch it, but you're not being effective to leverage the information you know. So you don't know when to pivot like you need to. And sometimes when we move to a space of making a decision, it's after things have gotten bad. What we want to do in this new season is be aware enough to prioritize ahead of time so that we can see things changing. And then so when they change, they're not as much as an impact to our business and our cash flow as they would be had we been caught unaware. So I'm just sharing with you some of the benefits of using the software packages because it helps you do some things that you can automatically do on your own without a lot of effort. Yes, you can sit down. Yes, you can look through some trending information, but using the software and putting the information in there can rapidly help you get to information enough to make a decision. That's what we want to do. Have enough solidified information, not off of what we think, not out of how we feel, but what do we see and where are we being led to go next, right? And so we have to be able to discern that information, and the software can help us do that. And so I want to just share a few of them, because if you look out, there are a lot of different software packages that we can use. There's BankTrack, right? That's a cash management software. It also aligns to your bank account. And so it makes it available. I want to talk about QuickBooks because a lot of people use that today. A lot of people are very aware of that. I want to encourage that. I've had good feedback. I've had good feedback from my own uses of it. So I can share from a personal view that it is very helpful to the business that I am doing. So one of the things about effective cash management is it's essential to ensure that you have financial stability. And it helps you to sustain your growth in the business. Why? Because you are tracking, you're keeping an eye on it, you're watching, you're seeing where money is going. And cash flow is very important because it is the bloodline of your business. If you don't have money coming in, you don't have a business. And so that is one of the things that we have to get to the understanding that cash flow is imperative. It is the blood life of the business. It represents, when you're looking at cash flow, what's coming in and what's going out, any given period of the organization. And we want to get to the point that we don't wait to too late to make decisions and too late to start monitoring. Today is the day. Today is the day to start. Today is the day to take a look, a good look. And sometimes I'm going to say this, sometimes it might be hard to really sit down and say, you know what? I have been spending way more than what I'm taking in. I have been working and operating outside of my budget. I have been working and operating outside of my cash flow coming in. I am running in a deficit. I am running in the red. But you know what about that? The good thing is acknowledgement. You cannot fix what you won't face. And so when you acknowledge that this is where I am, and today I want to start really tracking it better. Today I want to start having an awareness of where my money is going and what I'm doing with it in the organization. And then you can start making progress. Progress happens when you become aware of where you are. It's just like having a location tab that's in a building. In most buildings, they will have a design that sits on the wall in case of an emergency, and it says, "You are here." And some of us need to have a marker to let us know, I'm here. This is where I am. I can't reach my target if I don't know where I'm starting from. And so using the software can help you understand, where are you? Not in the fantasy world, because sometimes we can live in a fantasy world and think we're doing great. No, this is going to give you dollars and cents. This is where you're going to be able to match up what you think you're doing against what's reality. And so when you use some of these softwares, it will help you align to your vision. This is what we want to do. We want to encourage and help you to align to your purpose. And one of the ways of doing that is to understand where you are. Where are you in your money management, in your cash flow management? And so some of these tools will help you with effective cash management. They will help you improve in your financial acumen, right? Some of the things that you're going to learn using the tool will help you become aware of some things you weren't even aware of. It's going to help you be able to move into the process of investing more in the company, because you may become aware of where you were spending money unnecessarily. Prioritizing, yes, Pastor Grant, Pastor Smith. Prioritizing where you spend your money is so key, because you can spend a mess and you get no benefit from it. So one of the things we want to do is identify, where can I get the biggest bang, even in our corporate organization. That's what we look after. Where can I spend this amount of money that I have and get the most out of it? Because you can spend it in a lot of places, but where is it where it's going to give me the most lift? Where is it where it's going to give me the most strength? Where is it that it's going to give me the most help? And so the cash flow management systems and software tools that you can use will help you in doing that. It will help you in evaluating where your strength is. So one of the big main strengths of BankTrack, if you decide to use that, BankTrack, you can find that online, and that's spelled BankTrack, BankTrack. One of the big benefits is that it creates you a personalized dashboard. I love dashboards because it's like a snapshot. I use that. in my corporate vocation. We use that for production health, have several applications, and we are monitoring them all day long. I want to know everything is running well. So a dashboard gives you a quick snapshot of where you are. How are things looking? Where am I in my expenses? Where am I in my cash flow? How much money do I have in the bank? How many of us sometimes will take an opportunity to look because we don't even know how much money we have in the bank today for our organization, right? Or for your business, or for your vision, for your purpose. And so you need to be able to track that. So it gives you that. It gives you a personalized dashboard. It integrates several different bank accounts. So that's very helpful. If you're like me, you're multifaceted, have multiple companies, have several things that I'm responsible for, including our own bank accounts, our personal bank accounts, our investment bank accounts, different instruments that we use. And then we have several businesses that we have. BankTrack can help you in correlating multiple bank accounts and give you a view of where you are. And then it also helps you with enterprises and products. So even with your different enterprises that you have, what I just mentioned, having multiple businesses, it can help you give that snapshot, the summary of how everything is doing in one dashboard, in one view, one-stop shop. You can look at it. And then it also helps you with your products and services, whatever you may be selling. You can organize it and craft it so that it can be customized to what you need to track for you. What are those things that you need in a moment? You don't have to log into 5 different applications or 5 different systems to see what's happening. You can align, it integrates. BankTrack integrates all of your banking instruments, all of your financial instruments into one view, gives you a dashboard according to your customization so that you can see everything in a moment. And it will be very helpful to you, again, when you need to make a change, when you need to make adjustments. And you can customize it to your specific needs. You can have it to print you out reports. You can have it to give you triggers. Just like with some of the other bank accounts, you can have it. Hey, if this goes below $1,000, I want to know. I want to know if something is, even if you have credit cards, even credit cards now have triggers on there where if it says if anything is spent over $500, I want to know. And so when you are managing as a cash flow manager, as an operational manager, as an entrepreneur, as an innovator, you need to know what your bottom line looks like, and you need to be aware. I was just talking to somebody just this weekend, and they were talking about cyber threats and things that were happening, having their bank account attacked. Some of these softwares can also help you be aware very quickly when something like that happens, so that you don't have a material or significant impact to loss in your business. While you might be FDIC covered, right, insured, you still want to make sure that you have access to your funding. Some of those things don't happen immediate. They'll return it back to you, but it's not overnight. And so having that kind of awareness with your banking account, with your tracking dashboard, will help you in your money management. You can set alert for duplicate charges. You can set alert for low balances we just talked about. Any of those other important aspects that you want to have cued to you on your dashboard, you can see it immediately and right away. Again, this feature helps you maintain some consistency. This is what we've said, in constant control over your finances. We said consistency, praise God, plus having a mindset for focus leads to progress. And so one of the things that the dashboard and this application specifically can help you do is give it the right attention it needs so that you can go toward focus and progress. All right. Another one of them, again, there are many, many, many different ones. I'll just call out a few that you can use. Plan Guru. Don't have much experience with that, but that is available. You can use Float, a cash management system. Scoro is out there, is available that you can use as well. It has a lot of project management. It has over 100 capabilities. I haven't personally used that particular one, but I've heard others that have used it. It is cost effective. Again, I'm speaking to Scoro. That one is cost effective. It's about $63 a month, or you can buy on the onboarding package. A lot of these, I would say, are very easy, user friendly. So I know one of the reasons why people don't use software is they're like, I'm not computer literate, or I don't have a lot of experience and I feel uncomfortable. A lot of these softwares are very easy to use. It just takes time. So don't allow that fear to keep you from being able to manage your money the way you need to. Allow that experience to help you grow. Listen, you cannot grow in comfort. There is a necessity to operate in some lanes that do feel uncomfortable in order for you to grow to the next stage. It won't feel comfortable all the time. Every time you push into some new lane, it's going to feel a little bit different. But you have your history. You have what you've already done. How many of us who are in business now never thought we'd be doing what we're doing now? But it has been the grace of God that has allowed you and pushed you and supported you and brought you to where you are. So just like he's done that before, he'll do this in this area as well. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid to allow a feature of functionality that could come into your organization, into your business, and make it easier and smoother for you to prevent you from moving forward in that. And I will say this, just like most things, it takes more time on the front end. Yes, it's going to take time. It's going to take time for the setup. It's going to take time for you to implement it. It's going to take time for you to integrate all your accounts. It's going to take some time for you to understand the application. But once you do, it's going to be a wonderful benefit and make life more efficient for you in your cash management. And so one of the other things we want to talk about is QuickBooks. So many of you may have heard of QuickBooks. This one is very familiar. It's been out there for a while. I've used it myself. I know many others, even some of my tax accountant, they have this feature as well with QuickBooks, and we can integrate, which makes taxing much more easier. So I would say that's a good point. Thank you, Holy Ghost, that you can also check with your tax partner to see what they are using, and does it make it more beneficial for you to use the same thing? So that when you go to do your taxes, it makes it so much easier for you both, because they can actually access information and pull it out. They can actually go in and pull information that they need to improve the tax season experience. How many like me? I like tax season to go easy and to go well and to go smoothly. Did you ever think this cash management software could help you even in that capacity too? Yes, it can. And so we encourage you today that ask your tax person, what are some of the things that you would like for them to, or like for you to implement that would make the experience much easier? What are they using? What advice that they may have? Because there might be an opportunity there to even make the tax season a lot more smoother for you in the organization. So QuickBooks, this again is widely spread, widely used accounting software, globally known, globally used. It is among its offering. It has a basic cash flow management tool. So again, just basic what you need to do. It provides you with the user cash flow forecast and budgets for up to 90 days. So not looking at the whole year view, and it will go out into the futures for some certain things. What it will do also is help you with managing your invoices. It'll help you with managing paying bills. It will generate financial reports, so it will help you in some levels of information. Now, it may not help you like Scoro, where it gives a lot of the sophisticated specialty cash flow management reportings. So maybe you don't need all of that at this first go round. Maybe we want to make it to the first step of just getting everything established, getting everything into the system, and getting everything tracked. That's really where we want to get to the point where we have things easily available to us. And the reason why I say that too, not only just with your tax professional, but also when you go to work with your lender. When you're going to work with a lender or a partner, or going after funding, or going after getting support from others, this is a very easy way to create the documentation that they're asking for. It is readily available to you to craft a report, a summary of where you are, a summary along with your tax papers. They might ask you for your taxes, but you now have a cash flow report and summary that you can share out without having to recreate that every time you go to do some new business. So there is certainly some benefits in being able to craft and operate with a cash management software system. That is certainly one aspect of it. Again, I wanted to note that there are a lot of software packages out there. They also have Google Docs. There are a lot of them that are low cost up to, of course, there's some that are often free. So I want to acknowledge that. But you have to make sure that you're evaluating one, the security and safety of that particular application. I would also check reviews and recommendation. Is this the kind of organization that you want to work with, that will have the feature and functionality that you'd like to delve in? Do they offer, and this is so key because I've had to make decisions on this lady, do they offer support? There are some things that we do, some elements of your business, even in your own personal work, that you want to reach a human being when you need service. There are some operations that are fine, that is all automated. You never get to talk to a person. They'll email you. Email correspondence is just fine. But there's some things that you need to talk to someone when you're having a problem. And so maybe even in this aspect, you want to see, does that particular feature or software capability allow for interaction outside of just email? Do I have a human or a customer service that I can call and ask questions to? Think about that too, because I think it helps eliminate frustration. Because I was feeling that I was working on something else, separate from cash flow management, but working on another opportunity. And it was frustrating because I could not get to a human being. I had questions and I couldn't ask anybody. Everything I put in the automated system to ask questions, the FAQ or the chat, it always came back with something else. Nobody could answer the question. And so I was initially attempting to onboard. And I was like, okay, this is my sign that if I can't get the answers to what I need for onboarding, it's going to be very frustrating when I have this product or service and I need help. And so these are kind of the things that you want to weigh as you evaluate your software package. So we just talked about a few. I've given you a whole list of at least 10 of them that you can use. But those are some of the key things that you want to evaluate. One, to what degree do I need this? Am I doing my basic things? Accounts payable, accounts receivable, some reporting, paying bills. What do I need it for? Do I need the sophistication of what I mentioned earlier, having the integration with BankTrack, having the integration of multiple accounts and be able to create that dashboard and that snapshot view? Do I need that? Do I need that specialization? Do I need that customization? And then therefore, I'm able to craft my needs. Now, there might be a whole long list of wants, but you always want to start with, what are my basic needs? What do I need to be successful? What do I need to have this application? And it helps me and it supports me and it makes life easier. And so once you identify what you need, then you can evaluate the software to see if it will work for you and what you have available. A lot of them now have free trials. I want to mention that. So you don't actually have to sign up and start paying for it. You can try out maybe a tutorial version. Some of them have tutorials that allows you to have access to it so you can see how easy it might be to leverage. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of free tutorials, free trials, information ahead of time so that you know what you're getting into before you expense out to pay for it and you're not as satisfied, or maybe it doesn't meet your expectation. I just want to encourage you that there is software available for what you need. So we don't want to backtrack and we don't want to fall into that whole mindset of, I can't find anything. No, there's something out there that would fit what you need. And we want to grow. We want to move away from doing the things, everything manual. We want to get to the way where everything is more efficient for us, because I find this, when it's more efficient, I have more of a zeal to want to do it. When it's more efficient, I have more of a zeal to want to do it. When it's inefficient and ineffective, my tools are not together, things are dysfunctional, I have less of a desire to want to do it. It diminishes my desire to do it. I do it because I know it's necessary. But when everything is made efficient and everything is coming together and everything is made appropriate for me to operate, I'm like, hey, let me sit down and get this done today. And so we want to encourage you so that as we move into this new year, we're in the middle of the month. We're in the middle of the year, rather. We're in the middle of the year. And so this is our time now to finish the year out strong. And one of the ways to do that is introduce something new. If you're not using the software, I want to encourage you today to consider this. Consider a cash flow management software that would work for you, that would add benefit to you, and that will help you in reaching your purpose and vision. We want to encourage you to grow mind, body, and spirit. We want to encourage you that we don't allow fear to keep us from moving forward. Fear is false evidence appearing real. There is a better you, a better organization, a better way of doing things. We just have to make sure we do the effort to get there. And so I hope you enjoyed today's cash money management software introduction. Again, it's very brief, but it gives you the insight that you need to make a decision to consider it, whether it would be beneficial to you in your organization. I would also say, again, write down what you know you need. Go after your needs first. Before you buy something expensive and you use 10% of what they have, go after what you need. Then look for those that have a free tutorial so that you can assess it well, or those that have a free trial so that you can assess it well before you actually purchase it and move forward. All right. God bless you on today. This is Executive Pastor Grant. I hope you have enjoyed our Money Monday discussion. I pray that it finds you well. Peace and blessings to you. Have a blessed day.